Flair Airlines owes the federal government $67.2 million in unpaid taxes. The Edmonton-based company has a fleet of 20 aircrafts. It has gained more market share in the past few years, and it claims to be bringing affordability back to Canadian air travel. But now, the Canada Revenue Agency says it has obtained an order for the seizure and the sale of the Discount Airlines property in order to assure the payment of the back taxes. So John Graddick is a lecturer at McGill University School of Aviation Management. He is joining us this morning from Montreal. Good morning to you, John.
Good morning, Anne-Marie.
Okay, first of all, Flair CEO Stephen Jones told CTV News that these payments, paying them back, would have no effect on the airline's operations. But now the government is saying we're going to seize the property. What does this mean? Where are they landing?
Well, this is not the first time we're talking about Flair's financial situation. It's been, sporadically over the last couple of years, we've had instances where Flair's financial stability and capability of paying its bills have been put into question. And here we are again with a $67 million bill from a CRA for import taxes that are due on airplanes that were brought in 2021 and 2022. You don't reach this point with CRA unless this debt has been outstanding and unpaid for a while. So it's really disconcerting to me to see that the financial situation at Flair has reached a point where now we have a seizure of assets as the option for the CRA.
Well, yeah, and one of those issues that you were talking about is that Flair hadn't been paying their rent, or the claim was that they hadn't been paying their rent, and then they turned around and tried to sue the company that tried to get the rent back from them. So here we land today. They owe the government, federal government, $67.2 million. The CRA has said, listen, they want to reach a mutually agreed upon payment plan before moving to dramatic steps like garnishing revenue or seizing planes. What would it mean for Flair as a company if it comes to that?
Oh, I think it's probably going to be very, very difficult for Flair to maintain its credibility with Canadians if you're, if you're flying with Flair in a spring or a summer or the fall with your money in Flair's bank account, and that bank account contains funds that could be seized by the CRA if for some reason this repayment scheme that they've developed doesn't come through. The part of the seasons that we have in Canadian travel, this season, this first quarter of the year, is always difficult for carriers, especially low-cost carriers such as Flair, to be able to generate any revenues, profits. So I'm kind of concerned as to whether Flair can in fact survive these first quarter doldrums and still pay the bills that are required, especially the CRA.
Okay, so if you're concerned they can't pay their bills, and the CRA said if you can't pay your bills, we're going to start seizing property, what does that mean for clients who want to fly on Flair?
Well, I think that there's a little bit of risk, and again, it's their tolerance for risk. I think that Flair has done an absolutely marvelous job of offering Canadians low fares. They were, and they still are, the price leader in Canada. And that's great for Canadian air travel. The problem is those fares that they're charging, yes, they're getting people off the couch to fly, but are they making any money? And can they survive without making any money? The answer is probably not. So it is really, their operations they're having today are a cash drain, and they're using funds that people have booked for flights in the spring or the summer or the fall to pay off their bills today. So it's a high-risk scenario for Flair, in as much as they may not have. I'm not sure. I don't. If there's a $67 million bill and you haven't paid it, I think that there's a problem with their cash flow, and that's where I would get pretty nervous about my future travel, and I would make sure I have some insurance to make sure that my travel arrangements are somehow protected for
Look at my face.
Flair.
John, they offer really cheap flights down to Tennessee so I can see my sister. So if you're concerned, I'm concerned. I'm going to take your advice. Get some insurance. John, thanks so much.
My pleasure, Anne-Marie. Have a good day.
Yeah, you too.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you liked this, be sure to subscribe here, or you can check out more Your Morning videos right here.